Hello, it's Marisa Lowen, and today I have a little bit of a confession. Okay, it's actually kind of a big confession. When I was a kid and a young adult, I was really into wrestling. Yeah, that's right. Like WW, Raw, really into, the Hart family legacy, Triple H, China, you name it. I was in there. I had the signs. I was so engrossed in the drama and the wonderful, relationships that came out of wrestling. But one wrestler in particular really got me right here, and that was The Rock. Now, if anyone's familiar with The Rock, right when he came out, he had some really great phrases and key messages that he was putting out there. And when we look at it from an entrepreneur's perspective, it was really actually influential for me. One of the phrases, no, it wasn't, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" No, it was, "Know your role." Now, also as a young child and a young adult, I really wasn't sure what my role in my life or in the world was going to be. I kind of played around with some of societal expectations and my family expectations of going to college, getting a really great job in a cubicle. My dad always said, you're going to make it when you have a door to your office. And when I looked at The Rock yelling, "Know your role," for me, it actually triggered this really cool kind of unfolding of, what is my role? And I kind of kept saying to myself, know your role. And that really translated into that knowing your worth, knowing why you're here in the world, knowing what you're supposed to do. Now, everybody has this role, and it could be being in a cubicle, being in, working for another company. And sometimes there's this role where we go out on our own and we start our own business. And that's cool too. And it took me a long time before I really stepped into that role as an entrepreneur. I kind of did it part-time. I started up my pop-up company. I started, a few other businesses on the side while I was still working a corporate career. And then I realized that it was really time to get to know my role and get to know my worth. But it really took a long time. It took a long time of me avoiding the question of know your role. And now when I look at, what my role is and how well I know it, I know that it's going to change. And that's something that I've really accepted too, is that my role today might not be my role tomorrow or next year. And that's really cool too, because the world keeps unfolding, the universe keeps unfolding. New opportunities, I meet new people, new things come my way, and I get to choose. I get to pick what my role is, and I get to know it so well because it's mine, and it lights me up, and it brings me that passion and that fire of being able to do what I love and what I'm good at. So how did I get to know my role? Well, one of the ways was actually just repeating over and over again, know your role, know your worth. And then once you start to kind of get an idea of what your passion is and what you love doing, it's figuring out, okay, can I actually make money at this? Because don't get me wrong, I love doing lots of little arts and crafts with my glue gun, but it's not going to make me the big bucks. It's not going to pay the mortgage. So what I started to look at was that kind of monetization of what my role in the world is. Now, I do know that my role in the world is to help people, build businesses and come together with their own ability, their own power, their own strength to put out into the world what they love to do. That is my role. My role is to ask really great, amazing, powerful, fearless questions that really help people break down all of these blocks, all of these challenges, all of these preconceived stories and notions going through their head about why they can't make money, why they can't build a business doing what they love and what they're great at. And that's my role, and I know it so well because I practice it every day. I go out there and I find new clients to work with. I work on new programs to put out there. I ask really great questions every day. That's how I know my role. That's how I know my worth in the world. And that's how I keep spreading this amazing message that I've got going through my head and through the everyday practice I have about being able to make money doing what you love. So what's your role? How do you find what you're so good at, what you so love to do, what lights you up every day, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're like, hell yeah, I know my role. And we can thank The Rock for, coming up with this amazing phrase back in like the 90s that is still resonating in my mind, that is still pushing me to keep, defining my role, to keep knowing what I do, to keep practicing what I do, to keep getting better and better and better so that I can really fully know and live my role. And now it's your turn. I want you to get, kind of look inside and figure out what is going on with you. Do you know your role? Are you living your role? Are you actually reaching in every day and embracing what you love to do? And do you, wake up in the morning with a big smile, just waiting to get in there and, be what you are? That's how you know your role. That's how you know you're living your worth. That's how you know that you are, going to be making amazing money and have abundance and wealth coming from doing what you love, because you know your role and you know your worth. Okay, everyone, I hope you go out there and you do know your role, as The Rock says, and that you're going to report back and tell me exactly what it is, because I want to know. I want to hear. I want to know what everybody's role in the world is, and how we can all start living and working together and being one amazing, huge community where we can, really bring that high vibration, high happiness, high love to the world. Let's start a movement. Let's start a moment. Let's start a community of knowing what our role is and what our worth is and what we are meant to be doing in the world. Can't wait to hear from you. Back with another video to kind of share with you what's going on through my mind. Now, one of the things that always comes up is kind of waiting. We're waiting to exhale, we're waiting to breathe, we're waiting to move, we're waiting to have that next step, we're waiting to win the lottery, we're waiting until